much more later on. But we did have some breaking news that came through to our desk today. And now for the people that know, we've been following this case as long as other people, but we have actually been in the courtroom to witness rapper ARAB's federal trial today. And we were just talking about we may be journeying back up there Thursday.
Yeah, we said
because,
it here.
Yeah, they did it with their they had the final deliberations. The defendants laid their case out and everything. The prosecution laid their case out. Now the verdict has just came through on my desk today saying, man, I don't think you know about it, but you do know, but we're gonna get to it. So ARAB has been convicted. ARAB and his other co-defendants have been convicted, pretty much running a drug trafficking operation in the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and he's facing 15 years minimum in prison. Now we know it's one of those things where, people said he probably should have copped out to it, but they would offer him so much time. Now they're saying a minimum of 15 years, saying, man, not looking good for those gentlemen. That the word came down, man. Crazy.
The reality is tough to kind of deal with. Why looking at him in the man's face and hearing the prosecutions and seeing their evidence and listening to the feds and looking at it kind of play out, seeing the lack of evidence that they really had, and to know that somebody in their camp had to come out and basically tell everything that is going on behind the scenes for them to have any real case at all, to hear about them talking about social media. And we got to give ARAB a little bit of culpability in that, as tough as that is right now. We're not going to stand and talk about the brother, but I know that he will look at things differently from a social media standpoint, looking back on it now, given the fact that they were all over that like white on rice when they were following him, when you talk about plane rides and this or that and trips back and all this stuff, not finding anything, and for it to be somebody that told on him from his camp. And now we know that there's certain things and certain illegal actions that we can't really confirm right now, but that we're hearing that are going on with even lawyers and agents and things like that is getting deep. Like you said, behind the scenes, oh God, they wanted these brothers in particular. They didn't want the main. They didn't want anyone around. They didn't want their support. They didn't want anything but them. When you sit in a Fed case and you know the percentages, we've had people dropping some great commentary on our videos, giving fact to Fed cases and things like that, people who have been involved. And they all pointed to ARAB being convicted. So although I'm not surprised right now, it's still a little bit of a punch in the stomach. We were trying to go out there in a couple of days, and for that to drop now is like, it's hard.
Yeah, and I thought that he may have a shot because we were sitting up there, we were looking at the evidence. But when I'm looking at the article here, it kind of seems like, and the initial reason why the feds, from what they say, they started investigating OBH because of violence in the city. They said it wasn't even because of the lyrics and not like that, But I think that, first, let me say the guy who was the snitch in this case, the guy Taz, before I get to the whole OBH and how I feel about that, I just think it's disgusting. The dude was a serial killer. I think it's disgusting that he was able to, that the feds used him and made him flip. I think it's disgusting that he even flipped, because it's just like you got the balls to kill somebody, many people, and sleep at night. But you can't take it on the chin like a man and shit when you done this, and you're going to flip and tell on, your brothers and whatnot. That's crazy.
Hurts.
That's crazy. But, as far as OBH, I think that ARAB and those guys, I'm sure he would have done a lot of things differently, because even though it seems like it could be entertainment for some people, is that when you begin to show these different things, you got to know, and this is a lesson for all the people out there who's doing their thing or in rap or just, general in life. When you begin to show these things on the big screen where anybody can see it, if you happen to be doing something, it may not even be on the big scale, because we always brought up the question, how come they never went for the person he was getting the drugs from? We talked about how they was following him on a plane. They seen him at the hotels with duffel bags. If you thinking like, oh, you know what? Shit, forget these young guys who, but again, the power, the influence that he had, he was able to, get 50, 60 people to come out, fill a block party. Like when he said, do things, people did it. When they pried in with their techniques and their tactics, and we don't agree with it, and we feel like a lot of things were shady with this, and hopefully these brothers get an appeal. But when they were able to look in, certain things were recovered, certain lyrics and things, certain things were out there where kind of made it like, when you looked at the jury, that even though we saw a couple, African Americans in there and maybe an East Indian, we thought maybe, but no, I mean, people they don't relate to it because they painted the picture like these dudes are committing murders, they're selling drugs in the city, they're tyrants. Look, he's a rapper, but he did this. They got text messages and things like that. So I just feel bad, and the thing is, like, yeah, if somebody does something and they got to do time, okay. But is this really going to, in the bigger scheme of things, make the city of Philadelphia better? Is it going to stop drugs from coming into the city? I don't think so.
Oh God, what's your thoughts and your opinions now on Dark Low, seeing the conviction of ARAB and his affiliates and co-defendants? Does it give you any optimism, or does it kind of give you a terrible feeling in your stomach about him as well?
It's a little different.
Okay.
He's not included in this. I mean, it is a maximum of 20 years that you can get. It's still not a good situation to be in. Obviously, still dealing with the feds. But
right.
I would say the fact that a conviction, came down, it might make it easier now for whoever, if he had a jury, if he took it to trial in the next case, they would be swayed by that, I would think. You know what I'm saying? But again, anytime you talk about attorneys, and if attorneys are watching this, they will always say everything that they're doing in court, they're making a record for an appeal. Everything is like, all right, we got to get an appeal here just in case we lose. So everything is being set up for that appeal. So hopefully, and it's not common, especially in these federal cases, that they will get an appeal. Because again, we sat in there and it seemed like the fix was in
the judge
the whole time. Yeah, he was partial. He wasn't letting the defense present their case. It's almost like, look, we recovered this stuff. I believe Team USA, the agents, my government, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. I'm going what they said. These dudes are criminals. They're guilty. And that's all you want, is to be heard. Now, we were hearing that the defense, and I mean, they had a great defense team. I mean, if you were sitting there, and you will probably think that, that the defense, beat them.
They didn't deserve to lose that.
Nah. I mean, the way they laid it out and the way they were passionate about that case and things that they laid out, you know what I'm saying? I think that they really wanted to win that, and they really believed that, okay, yeah, they may have conceded to, yeah, it was some drugs and stuff being sold and whatnot. Slap me on the wrist. You want to give me some time for that? Cool. But to paint it like this is some big criminal enterprise organization like the mob that's calling hits on people, that's, terrorizing the city, that's killing people, not only through violence, but through the sale of illegal and illicit drugs. I don't think that it was that. But again, this is what the federal government and the feds specialize in doing. And this is what they want to come in on. They want to, if they see that you're sophisticated enough, to build your own business, by legal means, and got other people working for you and got payrolls and things like that. They figure that as a business, just like if you don't pay your taxes and IRS, they coming for you. Same thing on the criminal side. So, unfortunate. I will say this. I think that ARAB definitely needed to be smarter with some of the social media things. And I'll point to one thing, Sam, man, before I pass it over to you. I don't know if you remember this, but I think it was around the time the Super Bowl, and him and Birdman, they had a bet, and he showed a whole bunch of money on the table. Now, for me and you, or somebody, even me and you, it wouldn't be cool, but somebody who knows that, everything we do is on the books and whatnot, that wouldn't even been smart for us to do like that, because they could see it as, oh shit, this is unaccounted money for. Not to say that it was, maybe it was perfectly accounted for. He withdrew the money from his bank account. But one thing's for sure, one thing's for certain, they're going to now look at you now and look into what you're doing, because you're saying things and whatnot. You're saying it in your lyrics and whatnot. And now they can see on Instagram and social media, they start trying to piece things together. They get the little fucking warrants and the wiretaps to now pry into your life, start following you and shit. Next thing you know, now look, man, sad. I feel bad, for those brothers, man, because I seen something a little bit different than what everybody's seen.
Yeah, man, I'm not really going to put much on that, man. That was very well put, very well said. Real unfortunate right now. We're getting it like live. So yeah. It's still a little bit to digest, and we'll talk about it more in the next couple of podcasts before we get up out of here during the week.
Yeah.
But what's next sentencing? We'll figure that out in the next couple of days or so.
Yeah. Now, again, he's facing a minimum of 15 years, a minimum. So Guy's probably what, 36, 37, I think. You know, he won't be looking at getting out, you know, for the next probably 20 years. But again, I mean, you know, we shall see. You still got an appeals process where his attorneys, they'll put in for an appeal. That's not likely. You know, you won't want to hang your hat on that. But then you have the sentencing, which could be, you know, anywhere from now to March. And you know, pray he gets to 15 and is able to, you know, do 85% of that or whatever the case may be with the feds, and maybe 12, 13 years can make something happen for his life or whatnot. Definitely.
Man, lesson learned for these young brothers and sisters out here, especially on social media, especially in hip hop, man. Just pay attention and protect yourself. Yeah.
But, you know, we're going to actually close down on that. We hope that you enjoyed the program today, episode 266 of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, starring your brother Sandman over there and your brother Oh God right over here on this side of the table, man. We're going to take a day off tomorrow, but we got plenty of content for you to peruse through on YouTube, Facebook, and on the podcast networks, man. It's been a great show today. Unfortunate news about ARAB and his crew, but we're going to keep on moving and, you know, talking about it, Sam. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, salute to everybody listening on all the listening platforms, and of course on all 3 platforms of YouTube. Like Oh God said, you are now out of here with the